right. Hello. Welcome, everybody. 2026 Bluethentic. Robbie Green, good evening. How are you? It's
Yeah, good. Thanks, Adam. How are you?
been a big summer. It's we've been trying to get this show back on the road, and we've finally come to, and we've got a special guest
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
as we welcome Terry Degani from. Is that how you pronounce it, Terry? Is that how you pronounce your surname?
Yeah, nailed it.
Nailed it. From Blue Abroad.
Oh, bro, wow, a triple special. Thanks, lads.
Yeah, no, you're well revered in the
Oh,
uh in the content and media space, particularly with the Carlton supporters.
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey. I'm sure we're gonna touch on it, but yeah, it's great to be here. I really appreciate the invite as well. Yeah, it's nice of you to reach out and ask me to come on.
No, look, it's something that we want to do throughout the year. We want to get some special guests on. We've got a couple others lined up over the next sort of 2 months. Whether that's from the media, potentially some ex-Carlton players, some potentially some officials from Carlton. And in time, I think we'll look to get some opposition supporters on, just to vary the content for our listeners.
Yeah, well, welcome to the fraternity.
It's a big one, isn't
It
it?
is a big one. There's a lot of coverage.
yep.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm sweating at the moment.
Yeah.
The aircon's just struggling a little bit where I am. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, it's the same here, Maxi. It must be the thing about Keeler East where, Maxi's Keeler East, and
Yeah,
I'm not sure if they're paying their bills over here.
bit of a
But
problem. Bit of a
there's
problem.
very little breeze coming down that hallway.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, that's okay. That's okay. I think the cool change is coming.
So Terry, my name is Adam, but I do have a nickname, Maxi. So you'll hear that throughout the show tonight.
What's the context? How did you get Maxi?
Well, my dad's name's Max,
Okay.
and when I was playing footy, and I don't know, 14, 15, they started calling me Little Max.
Ah, perfect.
It's
Stuck.
as simple as it is.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as it is.
And Terry, Adam played a couple of games for Carlton Reserves. You'd be interested to know. I'm not sure how he got a call up. I think he had some inside contacts that he got a phone call off, and he played. Was it 2 games, Adam?
Two games, one goal.
Yep.
That's what someone nicknamed me that. Nicknamed me that. 2 games, one goal. Played at
Two for
Carlton
one.
Reserves in 1998, Terry. Very, very fortunate. I played with Ange Christou. He
Oof.
was in one game, and some of the other players you might remember. I think Matty Lappin was playing for St Kilda at the time. We played against them. Adrian Fletcher was playing for Carlton. You might remember him. Darren Hume was playing. Can't remember too many others.
Yeah.
Love
I only,
that.
I only played 2 games for a reason.
What was the speed of the game like,
It was,
Maxie?
it was, it was. I mean, I played A grade EDFL. It was definitely faster than that, and stronger too. The players were strong. I remember playing on Jason Daniels actually for St
Oof,
Kilda.
okay.
Geez, he was strong. I mean, I was a 20-year-old. Hadn't spent too much time in the gym. Geez, he was strong. But anyway, it's not really about me. Let's get
No.
stuck into Terry. So
Yeah.
Terry, lawyer by trade, Carlton tragic, and now a Carlton media star.
I don't know about Media Star. It's yeah, it's been a fascinating journey. It's almost less about, the Carlton story, and it's just more of a personal development story. But yeah, being in the content world now, this will be the ninth season of coverage. Yeah, it's been fascinating. I don't know where one begins with the story, but
So,
yeah, it's no, I obviously love it. Very grateful that I actually just took the punt back when I did and just stuck with it. I'm glad that it happened, and the world changed so much so quickly in the mid sort of early to mid 2010s, and yeah, I just yeah, it's fascinating to see where it's all going.
so it all began in 2018. I think you saw some fan cams from overseas. In your wildest dreams, did you think where you are today, going full time could occur?
Nah, not at all. I mean, it was yeah, I was living in Israel at the time. My ex-girlfriend got a job as a journo. I knew nothing about Israel and went there and lived there, and I was working for a tech startup before I knew it. And to be honest, because I wasn't living in a footy bubble city, I just wanted to stay connected, and I was already listening to podcasts. I was pretty big on the fan channels in the UK and across Europe, and I was watching a lot of them. I'm an Arsenal fan in the Premier League, so Arsenal fan TV was a big inspiration. And then yeah, I went to one of the games, got on the fan cams outside the stadium, and honestly, I just saw how simple the setup was, like a really simple tripod, small camera, and then I think that was the light bulb where I thought, you know what, I'm going to go home and give it a crack and then see what
Yep.
happens. Um, and then there was also like a story. I mean, for me, like when it comes down to why do you do it? Well, I always said I want to document the journey to the flag. So every day, every week, started off with the 2-win season. So we're starting from the absolute bottom of the barrel. But one day we'll get to the top, and I think we'll have a nice movie almost. I don't know. I thought it would be only 5, 6 years, but we're in the 9th season of coverage now.
So
Excellent.
2023 I mean 2023 was a pretty significant year for Carlton supporters for so many reasons, and I think it was significant for you too because things changed. I mean, I think you become full time.
Yeah, so I was working full time for a company called Founder. Basically, I was the community manager there. I was running live workshops. It was basically like a business school for people that wanted to start a business in whatever it was, e-commerce, whatever. And a lot of pressure coming from work. They were struggling for revenue and sort of letting people go, and so more responsibility came on less people. And at the same time, the channel was ticking along, and we were awful. We had just lost to the Bombers. Those awful scenes, players getting spat on and screamed at over the fence, and it was rock bottom. And I remember on the Monday morning, I remember saying, like, I just had like a team meeting with one of my colleagues, and he gave me some feedback about something, and I just had, like, I don't know, like an episode, like I sort of broke down a little bit, and I'm like the pressure just sort of got too much because there was so much pressure that I was putting on myself on the channel, and then obviously you got responsibilities at work, and so I said, fuck it, and I just quit. Gave my 2, 3 weeks notice, and then that coincided with the the run of 2023, so that was interesting.
Yeah. It's a good run in 23.
Yeah.
Good run.
What was your thoughts, Terry, at quarter time at the Gabba?
Oh.
Were you thinking about buying grand final tickets at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, I wasn't sure if we would win, but I was pretty sure that the momentum and the story and the emotion and the vibe of everything was just so in our favor after not being in our favor for so long. But yeah, I mean, I'm born in 91, so I don't really remember 95. I barely remember 99. So like for me, this is the pinnacle of my experience in 2023 at that prelim at quarter time. And I'm thinking, okay, this is it. We waited a little longer than what we hoped, but we're on here. But it wasn't to be. It wasn't real.
What was the turning point in that game, Maxie? I think, was it a free kick paid against Cripps early in that second quarter? Do you remember that?
Yeah, there's a couple of things that went against us. I think it was against Cripps. I think Kitty Coleman and Joe Danaher, I think in particular those two players got away from us.
Yeah.
Particularly Kitty Coleman off half back. He was breaking us open.
Correct.
And I think the first quarter we just caught him a little bit off guard.
Yeah. Correct.
That second quarter we allowed them to get back into the game too easily.
Yep.
And then after half time they obviously got some momentum and we tried in the last quarter. We actually had a fair crack in the last quarter, but the margin was just too wide.
Yeah. Totally.
In the end.
Yep. Yeah.
It'd certainly be nice to get back there.
That would be nice. I still remember we had all the momentum in that first quarter, and then I think it was Eric Hipwood kicked a goal late in the first.
Yeah.
Really against the flow of play.
Yeah.
Now, was that the turning point? I don't know, but I remember thinking, like, you can't give any easy goals in a final, let alone a prelim. So
it certainly changed momentum.
Yeah, it looked so easy in that first quarter. It looked like a training drill, and I just could not believe that we were in front by that far. And then it's almost like we came out a different team in that second quarter.
Collingwood were very worried. They would have been very worried if Carlton had made that grand final. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely. So anyway, it didn't happen. So we move on and we rebuild.
Yeah, we're here now, 2026, January.
So Terry, why have you been so successful? Like, why have you been able to become full time as a creator, a digital creator?
It's a tricky one to answer because I think at the end of the day, the audience decides, whether I'm successful or not. And if people are watching and tuning in, then that's great. So, I mean, what works now might not work tomorrow, but I think the formula I think it was a mixture of the perfect storm. We didn't have coverage the way we do now. And I, for one, knew and felt in my bones that this is where we would go. I felt that fans were fed up of hearing, people that don't really know the ins and outs of the Carlton Football Club talk about the Carlton Football Club. For example, seeing graphics of Lockie Fogarty's face on AFL 360 when they're talking about Corey Durden, like things like that.
Yeah.
And to be fair to the AFL media, you can't have journalists so knowledgeable about every single club. And I think Australia in general, we're sort of a little bit behind when it comes to this sort of innovation. So I felt like it would happen. But I think at the end of the day, it's about, consistency. I've showed up every week for, nearly 9 full seasons. This is 8 full seasons. This is 9 coming up. And I think that's got something to do with it. No, my whole ethos is I'm not an expert. Never played the game at the highest level. I'm a student of the game. And for me, what I thought was missing was the facilitation of the discussion. I ask questions. I listen a lot. I'm fascinated to learn. There's no right or wrong. There just is. And what's right now won't be right next month. And, what was right at the start of 2023 was not right at the end of 2023, for example. So, yeah, I think Carlton fans needed and wanted a voice because when I started it felt like we lacked a voice. And now we have it it's not just me. I mean, I'm just one cog in the machine. This is I think the Carlton creator ecosystem is what it is. It's its own ecosystem now. And there's so many different voices. There's so many opportunities for anyone who wants to document. And I mean, these are just great memories to have. It's kind of liken it to the cave drawings back in the day. Like we don't have, like your great grandchildren can watch this now in however many decades from now. Like you can't watch your great grandfather or grandmother talking. So I think that's really special and unique. And yeah, I don't know. I don't like to focus too much on the success and how it happened. It's a tricky one because I don't know. We live in a really interesting society in Australia, and you almost feel guilty for being proud of yourself publicly.
I mean, outside of looking in, my observation is that you're very humane. You listen. You're quite composed, and you relate to all different people, right? And I think that's why you've been able to be successful from my perspective.
Yeah.
You're really balanced. So I reckon I think the Carlton people, they like that. And it doesn't matter who you are and what sort of style you have.
Yeah, and you're giving those fans a voice, and there's lots of them. Like Carlton supporters are unique in so many ways. I've followed Carlton since I came out of nappies because my dad was born and bred in Carlton, and that was it for me, and I've stayed true ever since. But what I like about your show is you cover a lot of layers, for the fans to have a voice. You talk about governance, you talk about performance, and that's the part that I love about your show. But there's a lot of different shows, and we're one that we're just having a bit of fun with. We tune into a lot of different shows, and I love talking footy. I'd rather talk footy than work, and that's the most I get out of your show. It's fantastic to listen to.
What was the with you guys? Like, how did it start? Like, was this something that was brewing for a while and you just went for it, or was it off the cuff? Like, what's the journey for you guys?
Well, Adam's done a bit of media through the EDFL before. He's worked on a podcast. I've I haven't done much at all besides doing a lot of coaching. I've played a lot of footy, played a lot of A grade footy, um, coached both women's and men's footy, and just an idea that we came up with. And we came up with the name Bluethentic. I'm not quite sure how we came up with that name, Adam, but
Oh, I think it was a cross between, obviously Carlton being the Blues and being authentic, and it just sort of, here we are.
Bluthentic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Robbie rang me one day and said, "Oh, think about doing a podcast. Get my son to sort of produce it." And another friend of Robbie's, Rocky. And I'll be honest with you, I've been dying to do a Carlton podcast my whole life. So it was music to my ears. So I thought, beautiful. And then he rang me the next day and said, "Oh, by the way, can you host it?" I'm like, okay. So that was a little bit daunting, but it's no, it's great fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
easy. I mean, you have these conversations whether you're filming it or not. You're probably
That's
on the
right.
phone, whether it's with one person or in a group or whatever it is. Like, and that's, I think, what works with content these days. Like, you don't need the special equipment anymore. I think people relate more to the authentic
Yeah,
style,
correct.
just in your room, wherever it is. So yeah, that's I think also what works in the modern digital world.
Question: I've sensed that your relationship with the Carlton Footy Club has got a lot better in the last 3 to 5 months. Maybe, when Chris Davies sort of has started commence with Carlton might be aligned to that. How is that relationship?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've been away for the last couple of months, to be honest, but I do think over the last year or so, I think it's definitely gotten better. I think early on at the start of my journey, I wanted to be respected by the club, in a sense, almost like I wanted the validation of the club saying, like, thank you for what you do, for example. And I think, yeah, I would push for things. I would ask for things. I'd ask for interviews. Like, it was also very new. There was also, I think there's been a bit of a fear from somewhere in the club, maybe an old school thought somewhere. It's not everyone, because I know that, I mean, the media team, for example, very modern thinking. But I think there was a school of thought of, oh, who are you? And are you trying to compete with us? Which I thought was just so bizarre. And I think it just spoke to the lack of understanding of where we're going as a footy media society. Um, so yeah, look, there's been tension at times, been ups and downs. I think last year I think I just backed away in a sense. Like, I wasn't asking for so much. I don't need interviews with players to have a successful channel. The players aren't going to give me the inside goss on an interview that's going to blow the lid off the industry. I'm not trying to get like a gotcha moment. And I think I just settled into what I'm doing. I interview the fans. I get the fan sentiment. I interview players here and there. Like, I interview people from the club, and that's awesome. I believe there needs to be a better line of communication between fan and club, and I think a fan channel helps that. And I think I can be part of the solution for that. I don't think I don't think I could ever work for the club and do the channel at the same time. I think the beauty of it is its independence. I do things on my time. And I think I probably just felt a bit more at ease last year within myself and what I was doing. And so, yeah, I don't know if I've answered the question, but like any relationship, it's had its ups and downs. And yeah, I think we're in a good spot now, but I'm comfortable with what I do. And I think, they're comfortable with what they do, and it sort of it works. I think it needs to be run alongside as opposed to crossing over.
Yeah,
Totally.
I mean,
Yep.
definitely a lot of value. I mean, Carlton besties, there's lots of Carlton, obviously, media creators and content that, from my perspective, can only add value to the Carlton Footy Club. A lot of it's really positive, and you're providing something else that we don't get from the Carlton Footy Club. So you're actually giving them a free service. That's the way I see it, in a way.
I would think we're all promoting the club one way or another,
Yeah.
for sure.
So 2025's gone. We know what happened over the trade period. It was pretty full on. Obviously losing Charlie, losing TDK and Jack. And we understand what we got in, and obviously the draft picks, and we bring in Harry Dean, Jaggers back on the park. Where do you think Carlton is right now? And that's a broad question, I know.
Yeah, we're in this beautiful spot of unknown, and it can work for us and against us.
That's right.
Like,
Yep.
no one knows how we're going to move the ball. That was a big thing last year, how Carlton are moving the ball, and it's too slow, and it's this and it's that, and it's crash and bash style, and all of the the phrases. Right now, no one knows how we're going to play. So I think that can work in our favor if we're unpredictable. That was one of our biggest criticisms last year. I think bottom line, what have we done? We've invested in development with the development coaches we've brought in. We've invested in support for the coach. I think we've brought. I mean, I hate to use the term football people like we haven't done it before, but we really have brought football first people to the club, particularly at CEO level. And I think Chris Davies is just the perfect acquisition in the head of football role, and that needed a bit of a shake-up. So I think we've invested in areas that we maybe didn't invest heavily enough over the journey. And I think the other one is the environment and the culture of the place, because I think we got stuck in this individualization of the team, and it's going to rest on these 6 players that'll take us to the glory, and we're sort of projecting, Kerner would become Kernahan, and that's sort of the way it's been. And I think now I've got a bit more of a balanced team. I hope that, and I would guess that the books are a bit more balanced as well from a list management perspective, and there's some money in the bank for the future. And I think also, speaking of the future, when you think of, Jagger, Harry Dean, and Cody Walker, I mean, these are top picks over the course of 3 years. So I think we've set ourselves up nicely. It's just a matter of, is it going to show up in 2026? I actually don't think it's going to be as hard to be better than what we were last year as what a lot of people are fearing.
Yep.
Yeah. Nine wins. 9 wins. It was, and we really struggled. For me, Terry, I feel like something changed with the club in the last 4 rounds. We played subtly different. Obviously, Graham Wright sort of started around that time. Something changed. They played with a lot more confidence. We clearly won the last 2 games. The Freo game, we played really well. Didn't get over the line. Gold Coast come hard late. Didn't get over the line. We gave Port a bit of a telling, and obviously beat Essendon in that last game. And then continue on from that. The women obviously went from 15th to 4th. So I don't know. My sense is something's changed at the footy club in a positive way. Like you, what that means for wins in 2026, we don't know.
I think, Maxie, that I think Graham Wright's got a clear plan, and I think he's got everyone connected with that plan. It's must be a documented plan. This is the path we're going down. This is what we're doing. So he's given the players some clarity and the staff some clarity around that, and things change along the journey. But I think Graham Wright has added that stability both on the female and male program.
You guys have seen Premiership team or teams. You know what a Premiership team looks like a lot more than what I would.
Yep.
What's the essence there? Like, what's the fundamentals that you need to be a successful Premiership team?
I think first and foremost, you need to be aligned across the whole club, from the president down. The team needs to be fully aligned. It needs to be team first. You need to sacrifice. Can't be about you. Needs to be about the team. Everything needs to be about the team. Clearly, you need talent. I mean, that goes without saying, right? I mean, talent is required.
I think, Maxie, if you copy the last 10 premiers, they would have at least 8 on-field leaders that they basically run the team. If you look at Brisbane last year, you look at Hawthorn through the Clarkson era, these teams had 8 leaders who would just run the show. The coach was there just to manage Sir Alex Ferguson style.
You're right, because the leaders have got more. They got more say than the coach with the players. The players play more for their mates than they do the coach.
Totally, and that's for me. That's where it starts. The coach is there, and look, I think they take the piss out on the coach sometimes. I think, Fags is a father figure, counsellor, call him what you want, but he's the players.
He's a people manager.
He's a people manager, and he does it well. That's why he wins flags. So that for me, chemistry around the whole team is important. But these leaders they're your coaches for me. Yeah.
I mean, you look at 1995, and you got Kernahan, you got Williams, you got Bradley, you got Sexton, you got Peter Dean, you got Silvani, you got all these guys who are just amazing players, great leaders. Parkin would have been a little bit like Chris Fagan, I would have thought.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then you got that second rung of players that are very, very good, and then you got the third rung who don't give a shit but just can play. Your Brad Pearce.
So to that is, I mean, clearly Carlton's got grips as a wonderful leader. Does Carlton have enough on-field leadership?
Yeah, what's underneath him? That's been my criticism for quite a long time. Even in 2023, I just felt as though we just didn't have that 5 or 6 that could lead us to the grand final. Cripper's just held us up like no tomorrow, but I just think that at the moment, I think Vossi would be pouring heaps of hours into leadership at the club. They'd be doing program after program around leadership, which is just a critical component for me.
Because who's our other leaders? Jacob Wiedering?
Walsh.
Nick Newman?
Sam Walsh. Nick Newman. And then underneath that, I mean, everyone talks about Jagger, but he's 19, hasn't played a game of AFL.
Yeah. He might be a leader of the young boys, but he's still got to find his own feet at the level.
And it's hard to be a leader, but it's something the club have to identify when they recruit these players. I think Harry Dean, from what I see, from what I've heard, great leadership qualities. He's only a kid, but he's, chip off the old shoulder, off the old man's shoulder. Peter Dean was one of my favourite players, and his tenacity, his grit, his will to win was. I'd love to see Peter Dean in this team.
It's a bit like Nick Newman, I reckon. Different players, but just that tenacity.
Yeah, and talking to Nick Newman, that's a good addition for us. He just cuts angles with his kicks. He uses the ball so well. I know he's 33 this year, so they need to keep an eye on that with calves and that sort of thing. But I think that having him come back in the team just will add so much.
I mean, we bring in. I mean, we lose 3 very good players. Clearly, I mean, for me, TDK is probably the biggest loss. I'll be honest with you. But we bring in Ainsworth. He's been in the gym a fair bit. He's got some good biceps going there. Ben Ainsworth,
so strong.
We bring in Will Hayward, Ollie Florent, Chessa Reedy, Jagger comes back, Nick Newman comes back. This one that's eluding me. We get Kemp back. So from our round 23-24 team last year, there's potentially 6 to 8 new players in round 0 this year.
Yeah, and I agree with what Terry's saying. The unknowns. Look, I sit here tonight thinking there's a lot of unknowns. We don't know what's going to happen until that first preseason game. Is the chemistry going to be right? Big question mark. We're not sure. No.
I think we've got better depth than we've had for a while. Um, the question's going to be again, obviously how they gel, but do we have enough top end talent in 2026?
Yep. Are we going to kick enough goals? You know, if Harry stays sound and is confident, and we get enough inside 50s, the best of Harry is very good. But that's the question. Yeah.
Terry? Who's two or three players that you're most excited about going into 2026?
Well, I mean, there's no secret sauce. Sam Walsh. I think a lot of us have a similar opinion. If he's
True.
fit, if he's healthy, if he's uninterrupted, he's our best mid. He can be our best mid. He can be one of the best players in the competition. And a lot of talk this year is going to be around Zach Butters and free agent and, that 2018 draft class. And I think Walsh pushed early in that. He was, I think he was All Australian in the squad 2021, I think it was. And polled high in the Brownlow that year from memory. So, and he's had a couple of years now where the preseason's just let him down. He's hurt his back a couple of times and body's broken down. And yeah, it's so hard in this game when you don't have a full preseason to compare to the elite. So I think he's one. And
Can
then
we please put him in cotton wool for the next 2 months or the next 6 weeks? Because it's sort of like this 6 weeks is when he gets injured for the last 2 years.
Yeah. Well, it's that fortnight, we'll call it the month, the first month back after the Christmas break that's the most dangerous. Like I've seen like on the 14th of Jan last year, I had the video go up about him hurting himself, and I think the year before it was a little earlier. So yeah, we're crossing everything for Walsh. And then I think the other story that'll emerge pretty quickly, I think one of the biggest criticisms of Carlton last year was our half forwards or lack thereof.
Yeah.
We do not lack half forwards right now. Ainsworth and Haywood, I've been to two training sessions this side of the new year. They just fit, and they're specialist half forwards. They know exactly what to do. We're not trying to turn Zach Williams into a half forward or Mark Murphy into a half forward or, try and get Paddy Dow some minutes in that. Like we're not doing that anymore. These guys are specialist in the role, and I think there's a depth that's been brought to that position. So I think Haywood and Ainsworth are 2, and Walsh if I have to give 3. I'm really excited.
Yeah, Haywood he just oozes class.
Yeah.
For me, he just knows what to do. His footy IQ is good. We want him to kick some goals if possible, but his athleticism is outstanding. He is a great pickup for me. And we've got little Frank the Tank too. Don't forget Frankie. Adam.
You a believer? Can he carry it on this year?
Yes, totally. Yeah. It just took him a little while to settle in.
I think he can. I think he can. I think it's real. I think Frank's real.
Yeah. Local boy too. He's an East Brunswick boy as well. His journey's been interesting, yeah.
2 players that I'm excited about that we haven't mentioned. One's Lockie Cowan. I think Lockie Cowan at some stage in his career, hopefully sooner rather than later, can at least be in an All-Australian squad. That's how good I think he could be.
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot of there's a lot going for Lockie. He can play small, he can play tall, he's quick, kicks it well, he can jump, he's athletic, he's courageous. I mean, he's probably not quite Josh Weddle. I see him as a similar type. Maybe not as quick, but I love what Lockie Cowan could be.
Sure. Yep.
Love it. The other one I love that I'm excited about is Hudson O'Keefe.
The big hawk.
Yeah.
Yep. So do I. Yeah. Terry, you excited about Big Hutto?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I've noticed at training, just having a look, I mean, obviously hope for the best of health for Harry Mackay, but I think Harry now falls into that category similar to Jacob, where, after them, the next best there's quite a gap in their position. Hudson O'Keefe might be that next best if it's not Brody Kemp. So I just think there's such an opportunity for him, especially given the way that the game's going now with this revised ruck rule. He's got ruck craft, he's got forward craft, he's a competitor, he's got all the attributes. Is he ready to make the leap? I'm not sure. I'm more hopeful than what I am confident. Lockie Cowan's one that I think he's definitely ready to make the leap, provided that they They play him in the same role at the back end that they did last year. Like get him up the ground and get the ball in his hand. Hudson O'Keefe, I'm crossing my fingers because if it does work out with him and he does make the leap, then I think he will shore us up a lot more.
I think O'Keefe, his aerial stuff is very, very good. I think it's going to get better and better. Once he's in there, his strength is outstanding, and he clutches once. He doesn't double grab the ball. Showed that last year. I think really exciting. Look, for me, I think Jagger Smith and Brodie Kemp, I think they're just going to be an integral part to this Carlton lineup for this year. And having said that, I'm not expecting too much this year. I think 2027 is probably more our year. I hope we get enough wins on the board to call it a successful year. But I'm more 2027 myself. Yep.
Terry, there's a gentleman that you spend a lot of time with, and I think you've known him for a while. Tommy. What a guy. What a guy. What a creator. What's your how's that relationship sort of unfolded?
Yeah, it's he's one of the good ones. He really is. He's been I think it just goes to show the power of the internet. You know, the internet gets a bad rap, and I get it. But I think my relationship with him is one of the good ones with the internet. So yeah, he was just I used to do this stuff on Facebook. Sorry, it was an audio podcast, and then I was doing a little bit of video on Facebook, and he was commenting, and we sort of got chatting a little bit in Messenger. And I remember mid 2019, I was doing some volunteer work with the AFL in China, and Port Adelaide played, and I was working alongside them, and Carlton played the Bombers that day. It was Brendan Bolton's last game before he got the sack, and the games clashed. And I remember just asking him if he could do the review of the game because I wouldn't be available straight after the game, and it honestly just started from there. And yeah, it's really interesting. He's such an intelligent person. And I don't know, it was weird. It was weird to see the pushback that I thought he got early on, because a lot of people, their first reaction was, "Oh, what the fuck does a POM know about our game?" Whereas my first reaction was, "Oh my God, you're a POM and you know our game. Like, this is exactly what we need in the footy world. We need more people adopting it." And so I just saw the vision for him immediately. And yeah, he's gone from strength to strength. I think it took him a while to find his voice and his place in the community. I think people have now, given him the respect that he's earned. And yeah, I refer to him as like a walking Excel spreadsheet. He's just, some people just get Excel spreadsheets and some people don't. I'm not really an Excel spreadsheet kind of guy. But when it comes to numbers and algorithms and data, like, it's him. But he's also got the personality to balance that out. So I think it works well. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he's just such a great asset to the club to have him. Someone who's foreign to the game, learns the game, loves our club, and then creates content, not just about the club now. Now he does general AFL, but yeah, he's a legend. He's a real legend.
And I mean, you hit on the head. He's very data driven, and I think was it the spreadsheets that he made before the draft with all the points and the selections and the way he analysed that and allowed people to access it was outstanding.
Yeah, no, he's a good one. Yeah, he's definitely a good one. You should definitely get him on the show.
Would love him.
Got banter for days, mate.
We would love you on. We'd love you on. We might need a 2 hour session.
Say you'll be on for a while. Yeah.
So what's in store for Blue Abroad in 2026?
I'm going to sound like a coach, but it's honestly just about being consistent and showing up and doing honestly, I don't think I get asked a lot at the start of every year, like, what's different? What are you going to do that's going to blow things up? Like, no, like, just stay the course. The formula, I think, works. Just be consistent, execute on it. Show up, be available, be ready, be the best version of me. I do my own pre-seasons in the pre-season as well. I train, get my mind right, because working on the internet is not healthy. and that's the truth. Because when you're creating content, it means you're plugged in a lot, and it's not healthy. So yeah, having the balance is important. But yeah, I think the one major difference this year will be a lot more live presence. So we've got the season launch event coming up on the 20th of February. We've built such a nice social connection online. I want to bring that into the real world and get people to meet each other who probably speak in the live chats a lot, but haven't met. So yeah, we'll do a bit of that, some pre-game meetups, things of that nature. But yeah, honestly, just show up, be consistent, and yeah, stay as balanced as possible. And yeah, I think the formula works. So just keep executing on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
the launch is a great idea.
Yeah.
I think we will try and definitely get along to that.
What are the details
launch.
again, please, Terry?
Yeah, so it's not just for Carlton fans. I mean, I'm organizing it through a company called Sports Connect. So I've partnered with them, and yeah, this is a celebration of footy. And I want to get fans in the room, every club, and going to have content creators up on stage. So myself, Pommy, Swoop Luke, and Jake from Saints TV will be up on the first panel, just highlighting and celebrating the evolution of the game and how it's covered. We'll have another panel afterwards, which I haven't released yet, but there'll be other people, industry people, who will be interviewed up on stage. And yeah, it'll be a chance for us to just meet, pump up the season, and it's just general AFL fan event as well. It's just that I'm organising it, and yeah, Friday the 20th of February, it's at Amphora, which is right at Marble Stadium, right above Friends of Fire, the pub there. And yeah, I mean, everyone's welcome. Yeah, just get in touch if you want to get a ticket, and
Sure.
yeah, I'd love to see as many of you there. And yeah, I think we're so far out of COVID now. I mean, part of Blue Abroad really kicked off, particularly with the fan cams, because I started doing fan cams online during COVID when Jack Noons kicked the game-winning goal. That was the first fan cams.
Wow.
All of a sudden, we became the place where we could forget about lockdowns and just be online together for an hour or two after a game. And now we just obviously keep it up after every game. But yeah, I think it's important to do something in person and connect, because I think that's what humans truly want. I think that's part of what makes Carlton so special. We all feel connected to something.
Why with the venue, will it be big enough, Terry, or not?
Hope so.
Yeah. Okay. I've never been to
Yeah.
that place before.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Yeah, pretty
You might
solid.
get a full house.
I don't know. I hope so. Yeah, I mean, we've got just under a month now to go. I hope we fill it up, but if we don't, then it'll be nice and intimate. But yeah, I think we'll be all right. I doubt we'll fill it up like all the way. I think it holds like 400-500 people. I don't think we'll be getting 400-500 people. We might. I don't want to, put a limit on it, but yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yep. Those
Any
blues supporters. You never know.
Terry, any tips for new media creators and content creators?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I think it's there's so many angles I can go with this. I think, I mean, I always have this idea and vision from the very beginning that it would be collaborative. So I love it. I'm always down to be a guest, have guests on. I love it. So I believe that's the way forward. I don't think we need to have that mentality of competing and stepping on toes and this and that. I think we all exist. And I think, sometimes, it's easy to start. It's awesome to start. And then what will happen inevitably is people will listen, because, I mean, you guys do a great job and you'll find an audience and people will tune in. They'll be loyal. And there comes a certain point where you start getting some attention, and it's just a matter of how you act when you get that attention. And so I don't know, like, the way I do it is not the right way or the wrong way. It just worked for me. But yeah, I think stay collaborative. Don't get too focused on the numbers and the views and the subscribers and all of that. Like, just keep a strong reminder as to why you started. Like, for me, it's always the same. Document every week till we win the flag. It's been the way from the beginning. It just grounds me. And I love it. And we all love talking about the club. And so, yeah, I've got heaps of tips on, I don't know, different platforms, but yeah, I don't know. I think the most important one is to just remember that we're all actually supporting the same team and we're not trying to claw out each other.
How soon
Absolutely.
can we win a flag, Terry?
Well, anything's possible.
Yep.
How soon can we win a flag? I mean, everything would need to go right. And I think next year or the year after. But if this is not the group, then maybe we're going through another one of those 5, 6, 7 year patches.
Yep.
But
Okay.
yeah, I think did a Carlton People episode today and gentleman said 2027. So yeah, I don't know if this year's the year.
Yep.
I think 27, 28. I think,
Yeah.
obviously on the back of Dean, Walker, and Jagger, getting the salary cap right, getting the depth right. There's a lot of young kids coming through, your Carrolls, your Cooper Lords, Ashton Moyers. It's going to depend, I think, a lot on what happens at trade time this year.
Yeah.
I think if we could bring in a Ben King or a Zach Butters or someone of that ilk, it's going to give us a real opportunity, I think, in
So do you think
27,
we're
28.
missing elite role players or elite stars?
I think elite stars,
Yeah.
personally. I mean,
Definitely.
you lose TDK and Charlie, who are elite stars. Cripps is 30, 31. Harry, is he a star? Can be. Jacob Weathering's a star. Sam Walsh can be a star. We hope and we think that Jagger's going to be a star. How good's Harry Dean going to be? We don't know. How good's Cody Walker going to be? We don't know. I think it's the star. I think it's the star factor,
Yeah. And
personally.
I get the feeling that Cripps is now looking around thinking, who's behind me?
Yeah.
He's got Sam Walsh. He's got hopefully Jagger Smith, but that's an unknown. He's TDK's gone, Jack's gone. Yeah. So he's looking. I'm certain he'd be looking around, going, well, who's here with me? He must feel quite alone sometimes. In terms of that elite players, leadership, all that. So I didn't tell you the other day, Adam. I'm not sure if I did, but I worked with Michael Voss's nephew the other day. Did I mention that?
You did. It's
I
another
did
name you've
mention that.
dropped. You do
Yeah,
drop a lot of names.
yeah, yeah. No, nice kid, Jackson Voss. Plays with Frankston, and yep, no, he's quick to tell me he was Michael's nephew, and I asked how he was going, and he said he's very close to him, and he said he's fine. He's in a good space and really, really calm and happy with how things are going. So I passed on my regards. Yeah.
In your heart of heart, Terry, do you think Bossy will be coaching in 2027?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
team Boss.
oh,
I mean, I want it to work. I also think it will. I think the measure of anyone really is how they handle themselves under pressure. And now that we know the context of the dysfunction that was going on in that locker room last year, and you got DeConing halfway out the door very early on in the piece. Charlie obviously was checked out at some point early in the season as well. Jack was obviously not happy with contract negotiations and the like. Sam Doherty's having a sook because, get what you want out of football and making all sorts of noise like that. So you can, and like he's supposed to be one of the senior leaders in there.
yeah,
And you can
yeah,
imagine what that locker room
yeah.
was like. And so I think the way
And
he
in
handled
addition to
himself.
that, he had the Harry issue. He
Yep.
had Elijah, injuries
Yep.
galore.
Yep. So a lot out of his control. I mean, you can also give him blame as well because at the end of the day, he's the coach. I think he spoke as clearly and with the most accountability at the end of 2025 as anyone at the club did. His best and fairest speech was so crystal clear, and he just said, like, I let you down, and that doesn't sit well with me. No one else really speaks like that at the club. So I like that they gave him a chance and they put it on some of the senior players and they cleaned up the environment and so I hope he gets the rewards for that. Footy's a brutal game, so if we don't start well, the pylon will start, and like I fear for that, obviously. But it's Michael Voss; he can handle the pressure, and yeah, in retrospect, I respect the way he handled himself under the pressure that he was clearly under. And so I hope that, when the pendulum swings in his favor, he, gets rewarded with the spoils. Because, a lot of people talk about the game plan and, is he the tactical guy? But, Brisbane changed their game plan halfway through the year. Adelaide had the best game plan of all time until finals came around. I think I learned last year was it's not about one game style. It's about, do you have a group that's smart enough to adapt to anything that happens in a game? Like when it's time to be clinical with your feet, can you be? When it's time to be a bit messy, can you do that? When it's time for contested ball, can you do that? And when it's time for, counter football, can you do it? So I think we need to be a smarter team. And that's the task at hand right now. It's not one game style that's going to win a flag for us.
Is Elijah wearing a Carlton jumper in 2026?
Yeah, I think so.
That's good, isn't it? It's
What do you
he's training. You can clearly see his body shapes change. He's leaner. He looks fitter. He's obviously living with Sam Walsh. All his behaviours seem positive. I think it's going to be difficult for Carlton not to give him at least a 1-year contract. And at the end of the day, in 6 weeks' time or 8 weeks' time, if he stuffs up, then he's gone right. We know that.
Yeah.
I think he's, Motlop going down, realistically 2 spots available. I think it's a tick, which is great to see. And, I think someone from SEN, I can't remember, it could have been Kane Corns, who said Carlton has managed this beautifully, which they have.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
Terry, and he is a good player.
He's a very good player.
Yeah. So
Terry, we've got a little segment that I like to call Quick Hands.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna throw some just short, sharp questions at you. I just want short, sharp answers back.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're ready for quick hands.
Who
wins the flag in 2026?
Brisbane.
Who, if anyone, beats Jagger or the Rising Star in 2026?
Sammy Lawler.
Sam Lawler. Did he?
Is he eligible?
I don't know. Did he play too many? Did he play 10 or more? I'm not sure he's eligible.
I will fact check that.
Are you at ease with Charlie leaving?
Yeah, definitely.
Biggest slider in 2026?
Collingwood.
Biggest riser?
Carlton.
Okay. Who's going to win the Coleman?
Charlie.
you had to say Charlie.
Yeah.
Carlton best and fairest?
Sam Walsh.
That'd be lovely. Who's going to be Carlton's most improved player?
Ollie Hollands.
Ollie Hollands.
Okay.
Will Zach Butters or Ben King wear navy blue in 2027?
Nah, don't think so.
That's all I got. Good work, Terry. Thank you.
Work.
That wasn't too difficult, was it?
See how we go. No, that was good. Yeah. It's going to be a fascinating.
Ollie Hollands. Why Ollie Hollands?
When I watch him train, I just like the little things. Like maybe it means nothing, but very few players these days in training, when there's not 4 points on the line, give the handball and shepherd. Like you coach that. It does the team. I'd like to think that the game rewards the players that do the right things by the game, and I think he's done that from day one. He's just needed some years to fill out and the like. He's had a bit of bad luck as well with his body. He's had gastro and that sort of thing. I just think he plays the game the right way, does the right thing, and I think he'd be a joy to coach. And I think now that he's entering his 4th season, I just think he's ready to be strong enough to fit in. And if he goes back on the wing, especially, I think it's going to be really good for us. Yeah,
I think that's important that he goes back on the wing. I don't think he's a halfback flanker. I think he ball watches too much. The games that I've seen, he can get caught out by those speedy half forwards, and especially the high marking half forwards. So that's a good call. Yeah, good player, Ollie.
Yeah, well, either him or Cowan. I think those two are just poised. I mean, they're just ready to go.
Yeah,
so
totally.
Pick.
And there was a big crowd down there last Friday, Terry, at training.
Well, yeah, there've been the school holidays sessions. Last Friday was pretty big.
Yep.
Interested for this Friday, given I think everyone's back at school now. So yeah, I'll be there. That's the other thing that I think's a big tick from the club. I mean, the fans have been harping on about that for years. Like, let us in. Like, what do you
Yeah,
mean everything's
yeah,
closed? So I think having
Yeah.
one a week is just
yeah,
a nice evolution. I'm pretty sure that's a Graham Wright decision as well. So uh, yeah, I think him being at Collingwood, he gets it, what it's
yeah.
like to go for and work for and lead a club that has such a big, passionate supporter base. And yeah, I think that experience is going to help us. So yeah, we'll be there on Friday with another training report.
Excellent. Beautiful. All right.
So Robbie, you have you had your schnitzel, or you still waiting for him to be cooked?
No, I went for an Aljana tonight.
Oh,
Aljana,
Aljana
pretty good
chicken.
Aljana. Yeah.
Yeah, and some chicken salad. Um, yeah, I come over to my ex-wife's house, Terry, and she normally cooks dinner.
yeah,
So, but I had to pick up the chicken tonight from Aljana. If you haven't tried it, try it.
I have. It's elite.
It's elite. Yeah, it's right up there. But I normally have chicken schnitzels here,
Yeah,
well crumbed. Yeah, they're up there. Yeah, good serve. So,
very.
what's your choice of dinner, Terry? What do you go for normally?
What do I go for? Well, my lovely girlfriend, she cooks for me, so whatever she chooses. But tonight we had salmon with vegetables and some jasmine rice. It was
Oh,
great.
that's nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Protein. Beautiful. Excellent. And you ate crayfish, Maxi?
No,
Apple?
mate,
Adam?
no. Just got a chicken Caesar salad tonight. Just
Did you?
nice
Low
and
key.
simple. Nice and
Yeah.
simple. Trying
Look
to
at
look
us, men of
trying to look
health.
trying to look after the body.
Mm,
Yep. Totally.
Hey Terry, thanks so much for jumping on. I know you got a lot going on and you're in demand. We really value what what you do out there with the supporters. Great show. We always tune in. Love having you on. And hopefully we can see you in a few weeks at your season launch.
yeah. No,
Definitely.
honestly, I really appreciate you inviting me on, and yeah, you're always welcome to jump on after a game if you want to call in for the fan cams or any time really. I want to enjoy the footy because I think that's what footy's all about. There's
Yep.
enough darkness in the world, and I think footy is the thing that we go to bring joy. So it's been an honor. Really enjoyed getting to know you guys, even though we've sort of just met right now. But yeah, we'll definitely do this again. And yeah, thanks very much.
Go the Blues.
Well,
Go Blues.
Go Blues.
thanks, Terry. Thanks,
My
guys.
pleasure.
All right.
That was
Cheers,
bloody
mate.
brilliant.